Girl, there is a ton we need to talk about with this one. Like, there is a lot. What is up, you guys? For today's video, I'm going to share with you guys how to get this grungy galaxy inspired look using the brand new Chilling Adventures of Sabrina Part 3 collaboration with NYX Cosmetics. And oh my gosh, seriously, this palette is so cool. Like, look at how much detail is put into it. Like, it is so stunning. And then when we open her up, here is the color story if you haven't seen it yet. Like, look at all of those colors in there. They are seriously so beautiful. But nonetheless, if you'd like to see how I did this look using this palette, as well as my thoughts and opinions about it, then just stay tuned on watching. If you haven't already, though, I would really appreciate if you hit the subscribe button down below and gave this video a like. And also, if you'd like to check me out on Instagram, my Instagram account is @lethal_kitten. So today we are going to be testing out the brand new Chilling Adventures of Sabrina Part 3 collaboration with NYX Cosmetics, and seriously, this palette is so beautiful. I mean, like, look at all of that detailing with it. It is so gorgeous. Like, there's so much color variation to it. You get all of this detailing around the edges. The text has such a cool design to it too. Seriously, this palette is so stunning. And then when we open her up, that is what the inside looks like. Like, look at all of that detail right here. It is so beautiful. And then here is the color story. So as you can see, like, you get some really nice bright pops of color, but you also get like neutrally kind of shades as well. It's seriously a really stunning color story. And you also get a little highlighter here in the center and then 2 blushes. However, before we jump into using the palette, I am going to prime my eyelids first using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Eye Primer. But the first one that I want to go in with is seriously the one that catches my eye every single time that I open up this palette, and that is this beautiful red shade called Hell on Earth. So I'm just going to go in with this shadow right into my crease using a Luxie 229 tapered blending brush. Ooh, like that pigmentation though, I was not expecting this. So I will say, like, after applying it, it is actually applying more like a really deep hot pink. It doesn't really seem like a really nice true red in my opinion. But still, it's a really gorgeous shadow. So I'm just going to do a second layer to really build this baby up, and what I'm doing is just applying it into my crease and then doing these little circular motions to blend that upwards towards my brow. And you want to be very careful with this shadow since it is super crazy pigmented. But I mean, like, I cannot get over like how intense that was, like, on the first dip. Like, that was nuts. That's one thing I really enjoy though about NYX Cosmetics shadows, is that they have a lot of pigment to them normally. Now, don't get me wrong, Hell on Earth is super pretty, but man, I really wish it would have been a true red when applied, because that would have just literally been the cherry on top. But the next shade that we are going to be going in with is this beautiful deepened purple shade called Mortal's Delight. No matter what I do, this part of my hair today just wants to stick out straight and it's driving me insane. But I'm just going to take this Mortal's Delight shade on this brush from BH Cosmetics. It is out of their Marble Luxe set. And I'm just going to be applying it directly into my crease as well as into my outer V. And I'm just doing these little circular motions to blend that upwards towards the pink. And this shade is just going to be what we're going to use to deepen it all up. So I'm just going to go in with a second layer because, girl, we love a lot of definition with our looks on this channel. But man, like, these two together are literally made for each other. Like, they are just so pretty together. So I will say that shade Mortal's Delight is giving me a slight harsh line in my crease. I don't know if you can see it, but like right here, I have this harsh line going on and I cannot get it to blend out. I'll show you guys what I mean. I have a mixture of Mortal's Delight and Hells on Earth on this Luxie 229. And I'm going right over that edge and I'm just doing these little circular motions and really trying to build up that color and blend it out. But it just doesn't want to budge. You see what I mean though? It just doesn't move. So unfortunately, this isn't my favorite shadow out of the palette, even though the color is absolutely stunning. I just wish it would blend out a little bit better. Since you have that all nice and blended out, the next shadow that we are going to be going in with is one that I'm actually really curious about, and one of those shadows that I'm always a little hesitant to use, and that is the matte black in the palette called Salem. And then using this Sigma E33, I'm just going to be popping that right into my crease as well as into my outer V. And then I'm just going to do little circular motions to blend that upwards. I seriously cannot get over how pigmented this black is. Like, look at that. And that is only one dip. I haven't even gone in with a second dip yet. Like, that is insane, and it is so intense. I wouldn't say it's like the deepest black I've ever used, but for this palette, it is so nice. So unfortunately, the black shadow is giving me a little bit of a harsh line as well. You can see it like right in here. It just doesn't want to budge. And again, I'm just going to take a little bit of that purple and red mixture, again, on that same brush that we used earlier. And I'm just doing these little circular motions just to try to really buff it out and just kind of get rid of those harsh lines that we have going on. Man, I don't know how to to feel about this palette right now. Let me know in the comments down below like what you're thinking. But when I first initially opened up this palette, I was so excited for it. I love that bright red. It was seriously so beautiful, and every time I'd open it up, I was like, man, I gotta use that. And then once I applied it and it looked pink, and I also used a couple of the other shadows, I just don't know how I'm feeling. Because like, I love how it looks right now. Like, don't get me wrong, it is so pretty, but I don't like this blend I'm getting. Like, it's just, I don't know, it's kind of tricky to blend out, and it's just not where I'd want it to be. But still, at the same time, it looks really nice. And also the shadows have been so crazy pigmented, they're just kind of tricky to blend out. But nonetheless, off camera, I'm just gonna cut my crease real quick, and then I'll be right back. So once you cut that crease and the base is 100% dry, the next shadow that we are going to be going in with is seriously so pretty. It's called Ambrose, and it's like this lighter purple shade, but it's extra glittery. And then using a damp and flat shader brush, I'm going to be packing this anywhere that base is showing. And when I'm using this, I'm really pressing it in. Okay, that shimmer though, like, she is cute. It's like a taupe, but like with a little hint of purple to it, and extremely sparkly on the eyes. I was expecting it to be a little bit more purple because of like when I swatched it, it looked more purple than taupe, but nonetheless, it is still really pretty on the eyes. I don't know why, but I just want a little extra pop of color with this look, so what I'm going to do is go into the blue in the palette called Midwinter. Then using this ABH A13 brush, I'm going to be packing this on the outer third of my lid. And then I'm just blending it in with Ambrose. I just want like a little blue pop. I think that'd be really pretty with this look. This is definitely turning out to be a smoky look, which I am so excited for. I don't know what it is about a smoky eye lately, but they have literally been my favorite. But nonetheless, off camera, I'm just gonna kind of like clean things up a little bit because, girl, we got a lot of fallout from some of those shimmery shades, and I'm also going to apply my complexion products, and then I'll be right back. So here's where I'm at right now after applying my complexion products, and I gotta say, like, my lips are looking crusty, so we are going to jump into the next product out of this collection, which is the Soft Matte Lip Cream Duos, and these are so cute. I love the packaging of them. Like, seriously, it is adorable. Granted, it has a cat on it, and you guys know I really like cats. So there are 3 lip duos in this collection, and the first one is called Fright Club, and this one has Canes and Budapest in it. The next one is called Weird Sisters, and this one has Transylvania and Los Angeles. So from my knowledge, none of the shades in these are exclusive to the collection. They have been launched previously. It's just the packaging that's limited edition. And the last one is called Half Witch, and in this one, it is Monte Carlo and Cabo. Los Angeles, Transylvania, out of the Weird Sister set, Budapest, Canes, and those are out of the Fright Club set, Monte Carlo, Cabo, and those 2 are out of the Half Witch set. So after swatching them all, I don't know which one I want to go in with because I'm like down to like 3 of them, but I think I'm going to go in with Budapest out of the Fright Club set just because it's such a pretty deeper mauve shade. Anywho, now we are going to start working on the lower lash line just to tie everything together and get this look all nice and completed. And the first thing that we are going to be doing is lining our waterline using the Buxom Gel Liner Pencil in the shade Call Me. And then with this pencil, I'm just going to line my waterline and then smoke it slightly downwards. So before that baby sets in place, we are going to be smoking it out using the blue that we used earlier called Midwinter. And then using this Morphe M507 brush, I'm just going to do a back and forth motion smoking down that lower lash line. And when you're doing this, you want to be very careful since we are using a really dark shadow with a dark liner. You could also use that Hell on Earth shade, that reddish pink that we used earlier. That'd be really pretty too. But I just wanted like a little pop of blue underneath the lower lash line. So once you smoked out your lower lash line, now we are going to be doing the inner corner highlight, which I am so excited for. And the shade that we are going to be going in with is this really pretty icy silvery shade called Cunning. And then using this Moda Brushes Smoky Eye Brush, I'm packing the shit out of this into my inner corner. And I'm also bringing it underneath the inner tear duct area to open up the eye. Ooh, that is really pretty. Like, that literally looks like liquid silver. Like, wow, that is stunning. And then last but not least, we are going to be trying out the blush in the palette called NYX Scratch. So using this Sigma F10 brush, I'm just going to be stippling it right on top of my cheekbone. Okay, that is so pretty. I really like the color of it because it's kind of like a mauve, but it also has like a little bit more like brightness to it. It's really gorgeous. I feel like this would work on a lot of skin tones too. And also, it's not like super pigmented either, which I really appreciate. I don't know about you guys, but I hate super pigmented blushes. They are so hard to correct. But this one seems like it's a very nice buildable formula. But yeah, so here's the finished look using the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina Part 3 palette, and I gotta say going into this, this is definitely not what I plan on doing like whatsoever, but I still really enjoy how it turned out. It's very like galaxy and very glittery, which is some of my favorite things, but nonetheless, I do want to give you guys my thoughts and opinions about both the palette as well as the lipstick that we used today. So first things first, let's talk about the palette, and girl, there is a ton we need to talk about with this one. Like, there is a lot. But when we first look at this palette, it is seriously so stunning. Like, if you're buying this palette just because you love this show and you want it for a display piece, it is seriously so pretty. Like, there's just so much detail going on. It is truly immaculate, and I could see this looking gorgeous on a vanity. But when we start looking at the eyeshadow formula, there's a lot we really need to discuss. And first things first is that first shade that we used called Hell on Earth, this really beautiful red shade in the pan. And this one unfortunately applies pink, but don't get me wrong, it looks really nice on the eyes. I just wish that it was red because in the pan it looks like this beautiful primary red, and then once you get it on, it is definitely a hot pink. The other mattes that we use, the deep in purple and the black, they are so crazy pigmented, but unfortunately they are really tricky to blend out. It did take me a little bit more time and elbow grease to blend them out, but I will say I was able to get them where I wanted it to be. It just took me a lot more time than what I expected. As for the shimmers that we use, seriously, they are so pretty on the eyes. I am literally obsessed with this one right here called Cunning that we used in the inner corner, and Ambrose that we used on the lid. They are just so sparkly and so glittery, and they just have a really nice depth to them as well. As for the soft matte lip cream in the shade Budapest, oh my gosh, I love the color of it and I love how it feels on the lips. It isn't drying and it doesn't feel sticky, which is my two gripes about a lot of lip products, and this one just feels so hydrating and just really plushy. I will say though, you do have to do a couple of layers with it. I think I did about 3 or so, but again, if you want like a comfy lip product, this is definitely it. So when it comes down to it, would I recommend this collection to you guys? And first things first, let's talk about the eyeshadow palette. And with this eyeshadow palette, if you're only buying it for the novelty, I feel like you're going to really enjoy this. There is a lot of detail with the packaging, and it is definitely display worthy. However, when we start looking at the eyeshadow formula of this palette, honestly, I feel like it's just an okay palette. Don't get me wrong, I was able to get a really nice look with it, but I don't feel like it's like the best palette I've ever used, nor is it like the worst. It's just right in the middle. Like, if you like the color story of this one and you're okay with the deeper mattes being a little tricky to blend out, you may really enjoy it. And also, I will say the shimmers in here are so stunning on the eyes. But again, like looking at the color story, I'm not really wowed by it. Like, I feel like it's really neutral and it just seems like just doesn't really make sense all that much, and it just seems like a couple of things are missing in here. But for me personally, it isn't something that I would like necessarily go out and purchase because I do have a lot of eyeshadow palettes with very similar color stories. As for these soft matte lip cream duos, I highly recommend checking these out. Like, seriously, they are so comfy on the lips. And also, I feel like these sets would be an amazing Valentine's Day gift, or even an anti-Valentine's Day kind of thing if you do that, because they have such cool shades in these, because you get like a really nice nude and then you also get like a really cool vampy color. So there is literally a set for anybody. But yeah, so in the comments down below, let me know what you think about this look, and also let me know if you're going to be picking up any products from this collection. But as always though, I would really appreciate if you hit the subscribe button down below and give this video a like. And also, if you'd like to check me out on Instagram, my Instagram account is @lethal_kitten. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye!